What makes me excited about Ticketry as a company is you saw a need in an industry, and that's exactly what Cage Titans was. When I was a fighter, I saw that the experiences weren't great for fighters, and they really weren't great for fans as well. And similar to you guys in the ticket industry, so to be partnering with another Plymouth company, which is near and dear to my heart, being in Plymouth, which is our home for Cage Titans, it just made sense that you saw what we saw. Give the fans a better experience. Just buying the ticket doesn't end there. There's collectibles and merchandise and perks and all the things that you're going to give them this amazing experience. And that's what really excites me. And it just so happens you guys are here in Plymouth, which we love. We love Plymouth, America's hometown. Tickets for Cage Titans 69 are on sale now. So don't wait. These tickets will go fast. 2025, let's go.
Let's go, baby! Let's hear it for Shameless Don Shadis!
It's Tom Pagliarulo, who will be looking to claim the Cage Titans featherweight strap.
Do know me, know I'm like a fan favorite just because I'm never in a boring fight, man. I'm not gonna just like fight to win. Like I'm always actually gonna bring it. So they're in for a treat.
In there isn't to just fucking get in. I want to make someone quit. I want someone to scream uncle. I want someone to fucking say stop.
I think on the regional scene, I've slowly progressed in the level of fights I'm taking. I've been in wars. I think I'm ready for it.
What's happening, everyone? James Lynch here for the Cage Titans 69 live Q&A before the event. Thank you so much for tuning in. If any of you have any questions, if you're in the U, we'll get to them as we're speaking to the fighters here. Again, really excited for this card. What an event. What a promo. By the way, shout out to the graphics team and everyone here at Cage Titans. That was really awesome to see. You can't be pumped up about that enough. We got Andrew Mack in the chat. We actually have our first guest going to be joining us here. Hillary Rose, waiting on standby. She's going to be taking on Natalie Slesinger, coming up here tomorrow night. Hillary, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just tell me first just how excited you were to be a part of this event. They've stacked the deck once again for Cage Titans. Just how happy were you when you found out you'd be on this card?
I was super excited. I always love fighting for Cage Titans. You know, I fought for them as an amateur, so now being a pro, I love getting the opportunity to fight kind of not in my hometown, but not too close, not too far. So I get to have all my family, friends, teammates be there. So it's always a really, really great time at Cage Titans.
We haven't seen you in a bit. I know your last fight, I believe, in the summer. We're talking about a fight here in 2025. Give us a little bit of insight as to what's been keeping you out of the cage.
I just wasn't able to get matched up. I was originally supposed to fight in November, but the girl that I'm fighting this weekend, I think, changed gyms or whatever. So we pushed it back to January. So I fought in July, had a little break just to take the summer off. And then I changed weight classes. So this is my first fight at 105. So I've been fighting at 115, made the change to 105. So just wanted to give myself a little extra time to get healthy, get there healthy. And it was no problem. We're all weighed in and ready to go.
And heading into this fight on a 2-fight win streak, what's been the difference for you, do you feel, that has led to your success in these last 2 fights?
I think just like change of mindset, and I've had years and years of fighting, and I think that often when I was in the gym, I just always focused on the negative things I was doing and not always like, oh, here are some really, really great things I'm doing in the gym. I didn't always focus on those things. I was always thinking about all the shitty things that I was doing instead. So just a mindset of change, lifestyle changes. I feel like, I mean, I'm 32. I know that I don't have that many years more of fighting. So just taking advantage of what I have. And I think I'm in my prime right now and I'm ready to go.
And taking on a young, hungry, up-and-coming opponent here in Natalie. What do you know about her, and how do you feel like stylistically you match up against her in this fight?
I think we match up pretty well. Obviously, I have a few more fights than she does, so I have that experience on her. I definitely think that I'm a more fast-twitch striker. I know she likes to go for takedowns. She does have some finishes on the ground. So I'm anticipating that she's going to want to take me down. But I don't know. I kind of feel ready for anything that she has. I think that I've fought girls that are similar to her, so I have that experience already. And I'm in my home place of Plymouth, so I'm where I'm comfortable. I'm where I like to fight. And I'm ready for anything she has to bring, so I'm looking forward to it.
How much notice did you get for this fight? It looked like you got a full camp.
I did. I got a full camp because we originally were maybe fighting in November. I knew that we were going to be fighting in January. So after Thanksgiving, we hit hard, and then that was that. So just been dedicated to hard work, discipline, and doing all the right things to prepare.
And who helped you get ready for this fight as far as training partners, leading into tomorrow night?
All my training partners. Ashley Barrett is a big training partner of mine. She's a professional. She fights for Invicta. She's a new up-and-comer, but we've been training together for years. I recently switched my strength and conditioning coach to Michael Soares, a new human, and he's been a really, really big part of getting me in good shape and getting to a healthy weight and getting to where I need to be for this fight camp. Obviously, my coaches, they dedicate so much of their time. If I'm dedicating my time, they're dedicating their time to help me grow and get better. So just everybody in the gym, everybody puts the hours in to help me get better. It's not just me, it's the whole team. So I'm just grateful for all of them.
You mentioned working with a new strength and conditioning coach. How is that going with the cut? Obviously, fighting at 105 now, a little bit different for you. Has it been sort of a lifestyle change as well, getting down the weight, or take me through that process of fighting in a new weight class?
It was definitely a lifestyle change, but not that I had intended on. I used to binge eat and go off the wall, and I kind of just made some life adjustments, and my weight naturally kind of fell to 120, 121. So when I was hanging out there, I just felt like maybe it was a good idea to make the change to 105. And when I started training with my strength coach, he did all the right things to put the right amount of muscle on, build my speed, build my strength. And I've never felt better in my entire life. It's crazy. I've worked with other strength and conditioning coaches who are amazing, and I spent years with them, and they really helped me build initial strength. But I really think that Mike found all of the things that my body really needed at this point in my life and in my career.
What about your corner? What's that going to look like tomorrow night?
My corner tomorrow will be Matt Martin, Tom Havers, and Ashley Barrett. They're always in my corner. They've been in my corner since day one. So it's great having my teammate Ash in the corner to get ready and get warm with, because she's, a smaller body type like me. But I've always had the same people in my corner. They've been there since, I've had my first fight at 22. So I don't expect anything to change.
How's this fight playing out tomorrow night?
I see this fight playing out kind of however I'd like it to go. I'm feeling really confident in my weight chain, my feel of the cage and where people are moving right now. I've really been focusing a lot on, in, out angles. But I think anywhere. I've spent the last year of my life really dedicated to wrestling and getting better at wrestling. So I'd like to use some of my wrestling in the fight. I do tend to strike more often. But I would like to wrestle tomorrow, but who knows? I don't know. Once I'm in there, I'll kind of decide how I'd like it to go. And I'm obviously expecting the best version of Natalie Slesinger. And, I'm going to take whatever she's going to give me. And I'm expecting a really tough fight from her. I don't expect an easy fight in any way. But I think that I'm going to come out with my hand raised.
Quickly before we go, a win here. Is the plan to stay in the weight class, or you just kind of take it fight to fight? What's sort of your game plan for 2025 as you're kicking things off here on Saturday night?
If I get a win for Cage Titans this weekend, I definitely want to fight for a belt for them. I'm on a 3-fight win streak. They have no female professional champions in their promotion. So whether that's at 115 or 105, that's what I want. So I'll take it either way. Obviously, I'm comfortable fighting at 115. I had a relatively good cut getting to 105. It's just, dedication and hard work, and that's what I'm used to. So I'm totally open to fighting at 105. But again, I'd like to fight for the title if I get the win this weekend. Cage Titans has no female champs, and I think it's time they need.
Yeah, you made a strong case, and hopefully all goes well tomorrow, and we'll see if that does come to fruition. Hillary, thanks so much for doing this. Enjoy the rest of the week, I should say, and we'll see you in action tomorrow night.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. That is Hillary Rose going to be fighting on the main card against Natalie Slesinger. I know the audio was a little loud in there. We'll try and fix that on that end. But yeah, they're obviously doing the weigh-ins and everything right beside. So kind of doing our best. Again, my name is James Lynch, like it says on the screen there. There's my Twitter handle, social media handle. You can always follow me on there. I do a lot of interviews. I also do some interviews for Cage Titans as well. Talk to a few of the fighters ahead of this one, so it'll be nice to kind of connect with some of the fighters here as well. Keep your questions coming. We'll try and get them on, during with the fighters. Looks like we have Ali up next. As I'm kind of choking here a little bit. And let's bring him in here. The man who's going to be taking on Jack Condon at 170 tomorrow night for Cage Titans 69. But we're just getting his audio set up here for a second, and then we'll get ready to rock and roll. Look at this. It's like an F1 pit crew that we're dealing with here with Cage Titans. They're very quick at putting things together. Ali, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. So everything's all ready to go for tomorrow. I've been kind of asking all the fighters this. This does feel like a big event here with their 69th event. You got Don Shanis on the card. How are you feeling going in? Does it have that big event feel to you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm ready to rock and roll tomorrow night. This is the biggest event we got going in Massachusetts right now for MMA. So, this is where it's at, and I'm glad to be part of it.
How much notice did you get for this fight, and when did you find out? It seemed like a lot of fighters did know, last year before the holidays as they were sort of putting this card together.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a quicker notice, shorter notice time, but I've been training the whole training camp, my whole 3-month training camp, and then I kind of found out, right at the end of that, and I was trying to fight in December, and that training camp, I just couldn't get a fight for that one. So, I got this one going on. So I'm ready.
How do you keep things positive?
Both prepared, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Sorry, we got a little connection thing there, but we're getting through it. I was just going to ask you, obviously last year, a little bit frustrating. I know you're coming off the loss. You're supposed to fight Joe Giannetti. That fight doesn't end up happening. You mentioned trying to fight in December. How do you keep things positive when I know you want to get back in there, but also there's a little bit of adversity to overcome? Oh, think we have lost Ali. Are you guys still hearing me on here? Let's see. It looks like it's still live on my end, so we're just waiting to get Ali back in 1 second. Technical difficulties, everyone. These things are going to happen. Let's see if I can make myself full screen here as we're trying to get things done. This is the power of doing live, right, guys? So it's all good. I'm just waiting to see if his head moves a little bit. But again, I mentioned that they're Ali going to be taking on Jack Condon. Really, really good fight in the weight class at 170. Again, this is a stat card. I mentioned obviously Don Shanis in the main event. You've got Greg Jones and Kenny Champion for the OG belt. I'm really looking forward to that one. Got a chance to speak to both of those fighters ahead of this one. We just talked to Hillary Rose. She's going to be taking on Natalie Slesinger. It's got a bit of everything on this card, including some up-and-comers. And again, one of the great things with Cage Titan, the matchmaking is always on point. So you're going to go there and you're going to watch this event and you're going to see some really high-quality fights. So really good stuff there from Cage Titans as we're sort of, waiting to see what's going on with our next guest. Again, we got some technical difficulties, but that's okay. You guys can talk to me. I'll answer your questions. Whatever's on your mind, happy to do so. We got my guy Zach. Shout out to 4 Ounces of Freedom right now, saying with a win here, assuming Jan defends successfully next month, is that a fight you'd like to see run back due to how the last one ended? Absolutely. When you have a fight, again, you want a definite finish, and I think it just makes a lot of sense doing that fight and putting that fight together. So I think that's sort of what everyone's thinking. We'll see what the brass thinks, but I certainly want to see that fight as well. We can still hear me, of course. Yeah, I figured as much because the live button on my end's still good. So maybe some technical difficulties at the venue. I always have to deal with Wi-Fi. It's the bane of my existence sometimes where, Wi-Fi cuts out. Sometimes I have to do the mobile hotspot if my internet cuts out. We're dealing with all that. So which fight am I looking forward to most from the boss man here, Stephen Manny? Shout out to my guy, Stephen, over Expectation. It's got to be the OG belt for me. I know the Don Shanis fight would be the obvious answer. I'm trying to go a little bit off the grid here. I'm curious to see how Greg Jones and Kenny Champion do. These are two older fighters. I kind of like this. This is fun. And, if you heard my interview with Greg, he's a real character. He's someone that you just can't not root for. And Kenny as well, just talking about all the experience he's had in his career and kind of putting it all on the line. So, I think that's going to be a really, really, really fun fight in this card. But, there's so many good, fights on this one. And we're going to kind of just see what's happening here with the guests. Ron Marshall's coming to fight. Don't sleep on him. I agree. Again, 7-fight veteran. Really looking at that fight. He's taking on Ozzy Martin. What other fights we got? You know what? Let's pull up the card here. We could probably do a little share screen while we're waiting around here. Again, this event. Oh no, it looks like we got Ali back, which is great. And we're we're going to bring him back in here, just like we did before. So, Ali, we got you back there. You just had the freeze frame. I had to go full screen, but everything good on the connection. Oh, don't say sorry. It's the internet, you know, so it's going to happen. So. But yeah, we were sort of talking about obviously the layoff going into the fight here. I know some bad luck last year. Basically, I was just asking you, how do you keep things positive when, you know, you had the fight with Giannetti fall through, you wanted to fight in December? Is it just being around the right people? Like I am sure last year was a bit challenging for you.
I'll tell you what, last year was a big challenge for me. I mean, coming off my last fight with the eye poke situation, I'm actually still fighting that with the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission. So I still have a court date waiting on that. Gonna get taken care of that, but literally I had to fight with Giannetti and it fell through because I got impetigo on my leg.
Oh damn.
Obviously canceled the fight, and then a week later I got a tick bite. I had strep throat. A week later after that I had to get appendicitis surgery. I had appendicitis. So a lot going on, you know, and for me to stay positive was very hard, but you know, I'm here now. I've been training hard and my opponent looks game. I'm game. It's going on tomorrow night, you know, so I'm excited.
Yeah. And that's the best part. Everything's good to go. You know, there's always that worry that something could happen, but it seems like everything is good to go for the fight tomorrow. And let's talk about Jack. A 6-fight veteran, good record here, 5-1. Just stylistically, how are you looking at this one?
Yeah, he's a tall guy. He's got some good muscle on him. He's athletic. He's fast. I think this is a great fight for me as well. You know, just because it's just something that showcased my skills, you know, and you know, it's not going to be easy, not at all. This guy's tough. This guy's a, you know, athletic guy. So I'm going in there, you know, and looking to, you know, have fun in there and make an exciting fight. You know what I mean? For sure. He's a perfect case for that, you know.
And we got our guy, Andrew Mack. Shout out to Andrew, man. He's here for every stream. We might as well call him an honorary Cage Titan here on these streams because he's always getting some great questions. He just says, how do you think your experience will factor in the fight? If people don't know, you've been in there with the who's who, man, in terms of, who you fought. It has not been an easy schedule for you. So, yeah, with that in mind, how much will that factor into the matchup?
Oh, big time. I mean, experience is everything in this game. This is MMA, and there's so much going on in here, and, like, just little details really add up. It really makes the difference. And I think that's actually going to be one of the key factors in this fight is the experience. And I fought guys that had more experience than me, and I felt the difference. You know what I mean? There's just little things, you know, little things that just, like I said, they add up. And you'll see tomorrow night, my experience will reign supreme. You know what I mean? It's going to happen.
I love it. Yeah, I can tell. The confidence is high, which is great. Camp, take me through that a bit. Who did you get to work with? Who got you ready for this fight?
Yeah, I work with my team, Underground MMA, a lot of wrestling with stick wrestling, Springfield Technical Community College. So I was actually in the season for wrestling, and I was able to do some wrestling matches and work my wrestling, of course. So overall, you know, worked with studs in the wrestling room, did the MMA. It was a great camp. You know, like I said, I was trying to fight in December, and it just, I couldn't get anything. So I was like going on Facebook like, yo, why can't I get a fight? And, you know, lo and behold, Mike comes around and is like, hey, I got you a fight, man. You know, but I was really having a hard time getting a fight. You know, I mean, I have a high record, you know what I mean? I think I personally should be signed. You know, I'm grateful to be with Cage Titans, but with my record and my resume, I think I should be signed. And that's what I have to prove tomorrow night. That's really what it's about. Because, you know, I can talk all I want, but can you put what's on paper in practice? You know what I mean? That's the key right there.
Well, you certainly got a good vote of confidence in the chat here. Everyone really excited, believing this could be the last one before you get the call to the big show, which is great. So we know weight went well. Always got to ask your corner. Anything different there? Who's going to be in the cage with you tomorrow night?
Same corner as usual. Unfortunately, my boxing coach is not going to be able to make it because he's cornering some boxers, so I won't be having my boxing corner. But, you know, it will be a little bit different because, you know, it's just a couple different guys. It's the same guys, but it's just one less, you know, maybe way different. Maybe I'll have someone come down from my team, you know, I don't know. But for now, it's just going to be like that. So it's a little different, you know, but I'm confident regardless. They've been working with me, game planning, and I'm confident in that. So.
And what can fans expect? How do you see the fight unfolding?
It's going to be a great fight. I for sure know this fight will have some fireworks in it for sure. You know, it's going to be an exciting fight because it's like me and him are both, prospects, and he's an exciting prospect. I am as well, and I have the experience. So you put those two together, and it's just like, come on, like, what more do you want for this in a regional fight? You know what I mean? So I see a great fight tomorrow, and I obviously see myself getting the hand raised. You know what I mean? My hand raised.
It's going to be one of the fights of the night tomorrow night. You do not want to miss it. Ali and Jack Condon, it's going to be great. Thanks so much for your time, man, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There we go. Ali Zebian joining us here on the program. And again, his fight tomorrow night against Jack Condon, one of the big ones here on the card. Definitely a fight of the night that you want to tune into. And, he had to overcome a lot last year to get back in the cage. We had some technical difficulties in this interview. They're throwing everything at him. But tomorrow night, that'll all be put to the test as he takes on Jack Condon. 5-1 record for Jack, looking to go and also potentially get that jump to the next level. So a lot of implications on this card. Of course, we talked about the main event with Don Shanis. The way he's been going, certainly, wouldn't be surprised to see a UFC call for him as well. Looks like we're going to have Ron Marshall up here next. I know we had someone earlier mention Ron, so really excited to get to talk to him. He's going to be taking on Ozzy Martin on this card, another welterweight fight. And, 7-fight veteran. He always brings it. Really looking forward to this one. And I know the fans are excited for this one too. So we're just waiting 1 second here for Ron. We'll get him on. And here we go. Ron Marshall joining us here on the program. Ron, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing awesome. I love the jersey. What brought that out here today?
My buddy Daniel D. Oliveira, he went down to Brazil and he got me the official national Neymar jersey from there. So just showing him some homage and respect, and that's about it.
Did you give him a jersey in return? Did you guys do like a jersey swap, or he just gave it to you?
He just gave it to me. It was a surprise, and it was kind of just, he knew I was coming into this fight, so he wanted to do something special for me. So thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. Rocking that, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that. I've been kind of asking all the fighters, this definitely has a big event feel. Just how nice is it not only be a part of this card, but to kick things off early in the year? I know it's tough getting fights sometimes, so it's nice to be fighting early in the year.
It's nice to be back at Cage Titans. I'm grateful and blessed to be here. Of course, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for everything, bringing me back here, putting me on this path. I'm excited for the challenge, and it does have the big event feel to it. It feels good to be back.
What has been keeping you out for a while? First fight, I think, since 2023. For people who might be wondering, what else has been going on with you?
Just trying to prepare myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, making sure I was the best version of myself before I came back at it. And, of course, going back against a tough competitor, has a good following, comes from a good school. I used to train there, so the backstory's there. It's just time to execute.
Was it the matchup? Was it the card? Like, why was now the right time to come back and fight again?
It really started like in the previous interview I stated. It started with my daughter. She told me she wanted to see me fight. She's 7 years old, about to be 8. Never seen me fight, so I told her when I'm ready, then I'll let you know. And so I started preparing myself, and here I am. So
that's awesome.
It's not really the matchup. It was, I told Mike, just find me somebody. That's how I've always been. So I'm ready to go.
Good. That's so cool. I got 2 boys. I mean, anything you can do for your kids, it's always a memory that will last forever. So a little bit of extra motivation, I imagine, with your daughter going to be watching the first fight. I'm sure she's going to be on your mind during the fight.
Yeah, my daughter, my wife. I have a good support system coming down. In the past, I don't think I ever had maybe 10 people the most come to a fight. I have a little bit around 50 people coming right now. So I'm excited to show my improvements and to get in there and give it my best, give it my all.
You mentioned being familiar with Ozzy. Just stylistically, how are you looking at this fight?
I'm not too familiar with him. I've watched his fights. I know he's a striker. He's going to try to put some pressure on me, and so we developed a game plan. It's going to be time to execute.
We got a question here from Cage Side Press. Shout out to them, one of the best outlets in the industry. What are your thoughts on being a veteran of the sport that was selected to welcome another competitor to the professional scene? Sort of a passing of the guard, so to speak. What do you think about that?
That's exciting. I'm always up for any challenge they offer at me, so it's good. It's good to get in there with Ozzy. Of course, he had a good amateur career, and here he comes as a pro. So it's my job to try to stop him. That's it. I'm excited for the challenge.
And kind of like we talked about with our last guest, your experience, I mean, again, you've been in there with some of the best. How much will that sort of benefit you in this spot, just because you have been in there with so many good fighters?
I think it's going to be pivotal. It plays a factor. I've been through every situation you can be in this sport. I've been TKO'd. I've lost the 3 rounds. I've finished people. But I know I've always challenged myself against the very best, and that's something I pride myself in. And now I'm just prepared. I'm prepared for this and just ready to execute.
Because your opponent's so new to the game as far as the pro scene, was it more about focusing on your skill set in this camp as opposed to your opponent? Did you feel like you focused more on what you're good at and utilize that to the best of your ability?
Well, we definitely game plan to try to stop some of what he's going to be doing. But at the end of the day, it was me versus me. It was me versus me. You know, how much can I make myself do the things I don't want to do, but do it like I love it, like Mike Tyson said, right? Like continually pushing myself, showing up for myself, working hard, and then just we'll see what the results yield. But I can live with it now. I wanted to come back, give it everything I had, do everything the right way, and then no matter what, I'd be able to live with it. So here I am.
By the way, that question earlier from Dylan at Cage Side Press. Shout out to Dylan. Him and I work over there at Home of Fight. Good dude. As far as yeah, Dylan's awesome. One of the best in the industry. As far as your camp and everything, who helped you for this fight as far as training partners? Who's in the gym with you?
So I have my main coach, Dominic Fiandaka, my training partner, Mike Fisk. I got Sammy and Ali, my couple of brothers from Congo that have really been pushing me. I got Zach Zamzow. These aren't names that will be familiar to a lot of people, but they're the people that helped me really prepare for this thing. And yeah, I'm very grateful and blessed for them, along with my sponsors and everyone who's been taking care of me, helping me, leading me up to this fight. And it's just exciting. It's cool to see the improvements that Mike's made. Every show gets bigger, the media, the way he takes care of fighters, the things he does. I mean, this is the best show to be around in New England, hands down, in my opinion. And I'm grateful to be a part of it.
What's it like being in the gym now as the veteran? I'm sure there was a point when you were training and you were looking up to guys, and now I'm sure you have people coming to you for advice. How's that role been for you in your career, not only preparing for this fight, but being sort of like I said, a role model to other fighters?
I'd also like to give a shout out to Heavy Metal Jiu-Jitsu, where I've been prepping as well too. The other gym I named off was from Jazz Boxing, so they've been instrumental in helping me there. But these guys have really been pushing me over there too. So it's nice. It's nice. I don't really look at it like that. I look at it, we're all in there trying to make each other better. Work as hard as you can, take care of each other in training, but push each other and get better. And it's nice. It's nice. I know I've been around for a little bit, but I feel like I'm just now coming into my own, if that makes sense. So
that's good. As far as prediction for tomorrow night, how do you see it going down?
I'm getting a dub. I don't know how. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to go in there and give it all I got, and I'm getting that dub. I'm not going to make a prediction. Anything can happen. It's a fight. That's it. Let's go get it.
Okay, there we go. What about after this, or is it just fight to fight? Do you kind of just see what happens here, or do you think this is the last one? What's sort of the game plan after this fight? Not looking past tomorrow night, of course.
Yeah, just really locked in on right now. We'll see what the future holds. I'm just going to take care of tomorrow, and then we can talk about it. But that's a great question.
Great mindset. Ron, thanks for doing this. Best of luck tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it. Appreciate you joining me here.
Hey, thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
No problem. There's Ron Marshall going to be fighting tomorrow night against Ozzy Martin, a veteran prospect matchup. Really excited for that one. Again, this card's got a bit of everything for your average, for any fight fan, really, which is awesome. So again, don't want to miss that. Again, if you're not going to the event live in person, check it out on Spectation Sports. That is your home for regional MMA. Some of the best stuff on there. I do interviews for them. We got a great team over there too, by the way. Ed Carbajal, shout out to him. He did some interviews for this card and some of the other promotions that are on there too. So yeah, if you guys are into seeing the future of MMA, definitely make sure you check out Spectation Sports. That is a partner with Cage Titans, and why I'm here as well. So it's great to see. We almost got 100 people here in the chat, which is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is James Lynch. Do interviews for Cage Titans and a bunch of other promotions as well. Do a lot of other interviews as well if you guys are new, but always love doing these because these are like on the fly, fun interviews. I get to talk to the fighters right before the event goes live, which is awesome. But keep your questions coming. If you guys have anything in the chat, let me know, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Switch, Twitch, not Switch. Switch is the Nintendo game. I am super happy to be talking to this guest. I got a chance to speak to him a few weeks ago. He's quite the character. This might end up going the next hour. I don't know. We'll see, because he can talk, and that's a good thing. Happy to be joined once again by Greg Jones. Greg, how are you, man?
I can't get any better.
I bet.
Can you hear me through this? Because it doesn't reverb back in the earphones.
I can hear you perfectly fine. Okay. You're good. You're good. Yeah, I'd let you know otherwise. Otherwise, we'd have a problem if I couldn't hear you talk. So it was Yeah, no, I definitely will. So we obviously talked a few weeks ago. A really good interview, man. It was awesome to hear a lot about your story and everything. Now that fight day here is, just upon us here in, 24 hours or over 24 hours. How are you feeling now? Because you were pumped up a little while ago. I can only imagine how excited you are to get back in there.
It wasn't even a consideration. This camp went as best as it could. Like I said before, my work has put aside a little bit of my stress, and I just carried this through to the very end. Actually, during weigh-ins today, I was on point. I only had one hot tub session to get down. I feel like $1 million. I could do anything right now, conquer the world.
That's excellent. And I've seen the support, man, going into this fight. We were mentioning in our last interview, we both know Greg Rebello. I talked to Greg after our interview. I know he's really supporting you. Just how much are you feeding off that going into the fight? It seems like a lot of people are rooting for you here.
It's a big high. Shout out to Ribs and his team. And honestly, I got so much support, all directions. And I just got to bring it to the table tomorrow night and show you what's up. That's it. I mean, I got one goal in mind, and that's, the end game is just to take the object out of my way. That's what I do, every day. So
one of the things you and I talked about in an interview, and I wanted to kind of reiterate that here as we're speaking here now, was I know this was the right opportunity. It was, it was a great card, great opponent. Kind of just talk a bit more about that, why the timing of now and fighting on this card really sort of the stars aligned for you here.
Going through the fighters and getting reputable people and, my age class, and not even if it was at my age at 25 or, 25-year-olds up, it's hard building to get the right fighter at that because, I don't want to walk into, the cage with Connor Matthews, obviously, or something, I don't need that degree of challenge, but I honestly am bringing it up to that level at slow paces. At my age. So you got to attribute, getting in there with Kenny kind of brings to that next dimension. So who's to the next level? I don't know, but I enjoy, picking. We didn't hand pick actually. There wasn't many options. So Kenny was the option, like I said, last year, it wasn't a day off. I never take a day off. It was just getting the opponent. I would have fought anyone from the age bracket, but promotionally, we wanted to carry that title in defense of that. So we had to fit it into the bracket of 45 and older, so I couldn't just take anyone lower than 45 because it would have been just a waste of time at that point. Promotionally, I wanted to do it, but my coaching wanted to put it into this title. So we'll build off of that.
And you talked to me before in the interview, and by the way, shout out to Spectation. They just posted the interview underneath. You guys want to check that out. We had a long chat on there, and we're not going to get as much time here today. But one of the things that really stuck out to me in that interview is, you have a very high, we could call it high stress, but very intense life in terms of your businesses and so many things that are going on. The fight in some ways is the easy part. So as we're getting closer and closer, just how much excitement do you have? Because it's almost like having a break from real life, right?
Well, I'll tell you right now, this phone, since I've been waiting for this meeting with you, has rung at least 6 times nonstop. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I am getting away from. You know what I mean? This is supposed to bring me here and get me away from here. But honestly, it's been in my pocket and it interrupts my train of thought. I'm trying to get off TikTok. I'm like a avid user of TikTok. Now I got the app deleted because I got AT&T. So I'm kind of jonesing right now. You know what I mean? And I'm a little apprehensive to answer these calls that I can't get to because it's all business related, So it's like the fight. I hate sleeping on anything. If I was to fight last weekend, it would have been fine with me. It could be anywhere. Yeah. It could be in the parking lot. I don't care. I'm built to do this shit. That's what I do. I work hard. I eat hard. I play hard, and I fight hard, and I fuck hard. So everything we do is hard.
I could tell. Great line. Someone's got to put that on a T-shirt for sure. By the way, and I want my 10% for the trademark. Greg, dude. Speaking of business, this will be my last question. Speaking of business, what can fans expect tomorrow night in the fight? What type of treat are they in for?
Well, like I said, I'm going to give what I have to bring to the table. I can't divulge any of my secret sauce information, but I will tell you at the end of it, this body has been trained beyond its human capacity to overcome any obstacle. So that being said, it could be anything. It's not really going to matter short of someone taking the bar out of the cage and hit me in the back of the head. Because I've had that happen too. 17 stitches later, and I'm still functioning. So
I actually have one more question because I just thought of it. What's your secret, Greg? How are you still competing at a high level and at your age and going in here and beating someone up tomorrow night? What's your secret? Is it consistency? Is it tell us, give us some insight here as we're all getting older here. We want to know your secret.
Okay. All right. The secret is I live in pain. If you pain yourself in work, in exercise, in relationship, everything that you take and make it painful, it will bring it pleasure. People hate pain. I don't want to sound like a sadist, but I love the torment. I can't get up and not have some shit dropped on my lap every day. Like, I need to know I can get through and accomplish that shit every day. So a lot of people become complacent. They lay back on shit. We can do it tomorrow. We can, I don't fucking care. I need, the New Year's to get off the couch and start over. Like,
right.
I only need tomorrow to do something or today to do something. I don't need a crutch or a handicap or anything. To get up this morning and do Pilates. I'm going to do 15 miles on the fucking Peloton tonight. I don't stop, dude. I'll be up after this fight in the morning to do my yoga class at 8 a.m. You know what I mean? It's not because I fought I'm going to put shit on the back burner. You know what I mean? I might even do some swim drills. I don't know. It's just ending with more shit to do, not ending with nothing to do. Like, real quick, in human being still and human doing, which my yoga instructor tells me, I'm always human doing. I'm never just human being. I'm not just complacent and sitting there, So that's what brought me to here. And
there you go. Great.
Like the Matrix, I choose to.
Greg Jones, professional fighter and motivational speaker. Always a pleasure, Greg. Thanks so much for doing this. Always good talking to you, man.
Thanks so much. I will see you soon. Thank you.
See you soon. There you go. Greg Jones for the OG belt tomorrow night against Kenny Champion. Greg's a character, man. We could have done that for a whole hour. We got other fighters to get to, but I'm telling you, the fight you want to watch tomorrow night, just because you don't see it too often, is Greg Jones and Kenny Champion. The OG title on the line. Two of the older fighters, the oldest fighters on the card, and still doing it at their age. Props to that. I need to get some of his secrets here. I do the cold plunging in the morning. That seems to be a hard thing that you get through, and I feel a lot better. So that's a good motto in life. Embrace pain, and then good things will happen. We got Kenny Champion coming up here. I got a chance to speak to Kenny ahead of this one as well. Really, really great character. He's just getting his mic all set up here. Again, taking on Greg Jones. Really excited for this one. And looks like we got him here now as he got the headphones on. Happy to be joined once again by my guy, Kenny Champion. Kenny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. Ready to go. Today,
I can tell.
Yeah, it's a day of excitement. There's a lot of bodies in here, and it's just that feeling. It's that feeling in the ear. So I feel great.
Yeah, and I can hear it in the background. Seems like a lot of energy right now. Just how fired up are you? This is the most fun fight on the card, the OG title. Greg and you, two really good personalities, two really good fighters as well. Just now that you're here, how are you soaking it all in?
That's all I can do. I can take it, one moment at a time. For all the hard training, and you have something to actually look forward to, just to show everybody things that you've been working on, and again, like, I want to show my abracadabra, show my magic. That's what I'm here to do.
And it seems like there's a lot of respect between the two of you as well. I spoke to both of you, very complimentary, and I know obviously you got to handle business tomorrow night, but is that something you like in a way where it's just you go in, you focus on the fight, there's not as much back and forth?
Yeah, I'm not a person that likes to talk. I like to show a lot of action, and just to see an older guy. I'm an older guy myself, but a guy like Greg Jones, that has to inspire you. Because you have a guy to see a guy that age and still out here doing it. And anybody that's older than me in the gym, that's inspiring. You look at that like, wow, I want to be able to feel like that when I get that age. You know what I'm saying? Because the average person is just sitting on the couch at home or go to work then they go home and they're sitting on the couch. They're not actually inside that gym, so it takes a lot out of them. So I respect it.
Tell me how the rest of camp went. When we talked before, it sounded like everything went really well, but the last couple of weeks, how did everything go?
Again, I can say I don't really call it a training camp because I'm always training. It's more of a lifestyle to me. I've been training since probably my last fight with Aaron Hughes. I maybe took like a week off and then it was back in the gym because it's a lifestyle for me. It gives me something to do after I get out of work instead of going to hang out with buddies and live a bad lifestyle. This it helps me out tremendously. It gives me something to look forward to each and every day. So.
I asked you before, I'll ask you again. How's the fight playing out Saturday night? How do you see it going down?
With my hand raised, most definitely. All due respect to Greg Jones, but I'm going out there for the W and have my hand raised at the end of it. I am the one true champion.
And I know you've dealt with fighting in enemy territory before, but just the crowd. I mean, obviously everyone's going to be fired up. Is that something you've kind of mentally visualized already? With because obviously Greg's going to have a lot of support going into this one.
I love it. I go by the old gladiator moniker. I'm here to win the crowd.
Yeah, it's simple as that.
I'm here to win the crowd. I am the one true champion.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. The OG title tomorrow night. My man here, Kenny Champion, taking on Greg Jones. You don't want to miss it. This is one of the best fights on the card. Kenny, thanks for doing this, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you very much for reaching back out to me.
Of course, good to talk to him, Kenny Champion. Imagine having your last name Champion. You wear a shirt, you're always feeling like a champion. It's going to be great. So that's awesome. Again, the OG fight tomorrow night. Greg Jones, Kenny Champion. Looking forward to that one. We're going to be waiting for our next guest. Tyrone's asking me, who do you got in the Ozzy fight? I don't make predictions. I'm just the host here. So I will leave that up to you guys. How about you guys tell me who you think wins tomorrow night in the fight? Again, a lot of good matchups on here, guys. We haven't even got to any of the main event fighters here yet. So again, we're just sort of slowly building up to that. We got a lot of other fighters to talk to on this card, and we're just sort of waiting and seeing who is up next. But if you guys have any questions about any of the fighters we're going to be talking to or anything in general about Cage Titans, just let me know. I'm happy to answer it. And we got the man who's going to be fighting in the main event. Happy to be joined. We'll just waiting for the headset to get on here, as we usually do. And big opportunity here. Going to be fighting Don Shanis. Of course, Don used to be in the UFC. He's that UFC vet. He's a big reason why this card got put together. And now Tom looking to play, looking to go out there and get a huge win himself. Tom, how you doing? How's everything?
Great, man. Feeling awesome.
That's good. Yeah. Just how excited were you to headline this card? Obviously, it's a pretty big deal for Cage Titans to do this event, kicking off the year real strong. Just tell me a bit about the opportunity you have here tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely grateful for it. Big time show like Cage Titans, big time opponent. I think I'm ready for it though, man. Camp's been great. Just ready to go in there and do it tomorrow night.
And for people who haven't seen you fight, you did a great interview with my buddy Ed Carbajal ahead of this one. I know you like to entertain, you like to be fun. For people who haven't watched you fight, what can they expect when you're in the cage tomorrow?
Yeah, just all action. I think my striking's fun to watch. I move around a lot. I throw everything at you. But I think my grappling's pretty fun too, and people haven't seen that yet too much. So I think maybe they'll get to see a little bit of that tomorrow night. But just a well-rounded mixed martial arts performance. That's what they're going to see.
When preparing for a guy like Don, in some ways, is it easier just because there is a lot of tape of him out there? Like, it's probably not hard to find footage. Take me through sort of the preparation of this fight as Don's, Mr. Cage Titan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, the more someone fights, the more footage there's going to be. I don't dive too much into it. I watch like a couple of the most recent, and let my coaches do the film watching. I don't like to focus on what they do. I like to focus on what I'm going to do and go up and focus on that. You stress on what they're doing too much and you kind of forget your own game plan. So yeah, just really focusing on myself and ready to go perform.
Now, did you have a full, obviously you trained at the Cartel, one of the best in the business. Shout out to the Tony Sopranos of the Cartel, Tyson Chartier there. But I know Don's pretty friendly with your team. Were there any teammates that were reluctant to help you for this fight, or was everyone all systems go?
No, there's teammates and there's friends. You know what I mean? I think he's got some friends on my team, but I got teammates. And everyone was all systems go for me, giving me the looks I needed, and really just building my confidence and helping me sharpen the skills. So my team's been 100% on my back for this, for sure.
Who helped you get ready for this one as far as training partners in the gym?
Yeah, I had Mitch Raposo give me a look just for like the size. Carlos Azoya, he's an up-and-coming killer. He's like 10-4 right now. Rob Font, he's always helping me. Nick Fiore, man, kill Chris Matinho, like all these guys, just murder his row in that gym, man. So it's been a great camp.
Yeah, and how excited were you to see Rob get that fight? Going to be fighting an absolute legend here in a few weeks against Dominic Cruz. Really exciting matchup.
Yeah, big time opportunity, man. Just the name itself, you know what I mean? Rob's coming off a good win. He's made the changes he needs to make to get back in the win column. And yeah, I think, you know, we go in there, we stop the wrestling. I think he's going to have himself a good night.
And getting to train with those guys, I mean, the confidence just has to go through the roof. We're talking about fighters like Rob, who just beat he's a ranked bantamweight. You know, obviously he's someone that's been in the UFC for a while. Getting to train with those guys, just how much does the confidence level go up as you're able to measure your skill set as well when you're in the gym?
Yeah, man, I've been fortunate enough to be with those guys since my amateur career. So it's kind of something I'm used to now. There's that level they bring and trying to match it. So, but super grateful for them, man. They took me in and they've turned me into the fighter I am today. And I definitely think it definitely helped my confidence starting out and just got me where I'm at now.
Obviously, the hard part, the weight cut is over with. Looked like everything went well. How was the cut this time around compared to other fights?
Easy, man. Shout out to Perfecting Athletes.
Oh, nice. You work with them. Yeah, they're awesome. I know Rob works with them too, right? Or did anyways. I don't know if he still does.
He's the one who introduced me. So I've been working with them. Smooth cut. Honestly, heaviest I've ever been coming into a fight on purpose, trying to put on some size this summer. And the lightest I've been starting my weight cut. So they helped me out a ton. And yeah, man, I feel awesome. I feel like I can fight tonight. You know what I mean? So
I can tell. Listen, I'm feeling it over the screen here, man. I feel like I'm right next to you, so it's great. Tell me how this fight's playing out tomorrow night. How do you see the fight going down with you and Don Shainis?
Yeah, just be better at fighting than him. That's my plan. Just be better, you know, and that's what I'm gonna go do. Step in that cage, be better everywhere. I got to be better and get my hand loose.
Is this an audition for the UFC in your opinion? I mean, a lot of eyeballs on this fight. Don's a UFC vet. This is a main event. Do you see this as an audition?
Look at it as a fight, man. I think that's for the fans to get into. You know what I mean? That's for the hype, for them to focus on. For me, it's another opponent, man. Not much is different. You know, a fight's a fight. I've been competing a long, long time. I know he's got the experience, but I'm a lifelong competitor in combat sports, and it's another night for me, man. I'm gonna go do my thing.
What are some of your goals for this year as we're wrapping things up? You know, I imagine it's keeping active. Obviously, you win this, you're going to have a lot more options sort of going forward. But what's sort of an ideal 2025 for you?
Yeah, just stay busy. You know what I mean? Start tomorrow night, and then trying to just take it one day at a time, man. You know, it's like I used to set these deadlines for myself when I started this, and as you get a little more experience in the sport, you realize none of those really ever come true. Most of the time, things come up. So taking it one day at a time, just staying ready. I'm always in the gym working. I could take a fight on a week notice. I'm one of those guys. So I'll be ready for something like that and just keep working day after day.
Now, Tom, I hate to go back on my word here. I said that was the last question, but we got a couple questions here in the chat. We got to get to them. Shout out again for my guy Dylan over at Cage Side Press. He says, your manager, Tyson Chartier, said you're in a totally different space mentally. Can you elaborate on this and who really helped you get into the better headspace? It's a great question.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think, again, that comes with growth. I took a tough loss a year ago and had some things I need to address, I think, mentally, and a little bit of skills that I addressed. And most of it was just kind of figuring out what works best for me. I've kind of always I've had these mentors and I've followed along with them and kind of just emulated what they do. I think I need to figure out, sometimes that's not always going to be what's best for me. You know, everyone's a different person. So really kind of forming my camp and making it more about me and doing the things I need to do. And then the mental thing, man, really it's just life shit. Starting going to therapy and shit, doing that. And I think that's been the biggest thing I've done. So if there's anything I can use this platform to advocate for, take care of that mental health. It's important. My confidence is just belief in myself and just being happier. You know, I think my happiness has been the biggest improvement, and it's made me really love what I do. So that's what you're gonna see tomorrow night. Someone just doing what they love.
Yeah, shout out to therapy, man. Glad to hear you speak about this and use your platform to talk out about it. I mean, people don't think about it as much, but, you know, fighting is just mental as it is physical, right? If your mind's not right, you know, everything else is going to fall apart. It's like if you don't have the engine in a car's not going to run, right? So you got to need everything kind of firing on all cylinders. Tom, thank you so much for doing this. We are really excited for the main event tomorrow night, you and Don Shainis. Appreciate you taking some time here, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you. Thanks for talking with me. Have a good one.
There you go. The one half of the main event here, and I'm sure we're going to get Don Chanis here as well. I'm fired up for this fight. Again, a lot of implications for both fighters here. Don's looking to get back in the UFC. Tom wants to get in the UFC. And shout out to that team over at the New England Cartel, always doing great things and producing some exceptional talent out there. So if it's a Cage Titan card, there's probably going to be someone from the New England Cartel on there, and they continue to do great stuff. Also forgot that Calvin Cater's also got a fight coming up here soon as well, taking on Yusuf Salal from the Cartel. Looks like we got Ozzy Martin waiting on standby. We got the F1 pit crew style Cage Titan people putting everything together. He's just getting his headphones on. Really excited to talk to my next guest. First time, actually. Never talked to him, and really thrilled to hear what he has to say about his fight against Ron Marshall tomorrow night in the welterweight division. Ozzy Martin joining us here. Ozzy, how are you, man?
Good, man. Feeling good. How you doing?
That's good. I'm glad you're feeling good because we're looking forward to this fight. Take me through how this all came together with you fighting Ron. Obviously, big opportunity for you here in the pro ranks.
Yeah, trying to find another fight as an amateur, try and get another belt somewhere. Didn't come to fruition, and my team and I thought that I have the skills to turn professional. So we thought let's turn professional, and it seemed like Colvier, Mike already had somebody ready waiting for me, Ron Marshall. So I accepted the fight, and that's just how it came around.
That's great. And I cannot continue this interview without talking about how awesome that Pantera shirt is. Are you a big fan?
Yeah, man. I like metal rock, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you got good taste in music. Let's say that. How much you listening to that during camp and kind of pumping you up because that's the type of stuff that can definitely get you in the right mindset.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I got distracted.
Oh, just saying. Yeah, no. It's we're battling with the elements here with the with the background noise. But I was just asking you, how often do you listen to Pantera and heavy metal?
Oh man, I like classic rock, heavy metal, and that's just the kind of I always feel like music reflects you and reflects the way you dress, like the way you act, and just that plays a really big part in my life. And especially for my fight style, I'm a power hitter. I'm aggressive, and whenever I think of power, aggression, just fighting, I think of metal, man, especially Pantera, especially now 5 minutes alone. I got 5 minutes now in that fucking, oops, sorry, can I swear? In that cage. So as a professional, 5 minutes, that song that's been playing in my head the whole time throughout this camp.
It's interesting. I'm talking to you here. You seem like a really calm-mannered guy, and then you're talking about Pantera. You're talking about beating people up tomorrow night. Does that flip sort of switch for you when you go into the cage? Because it's certainly, I kind of get that vibe from you in a good way, right? You're able to kind of separate the two.
For sure, man. I feel like I'm blessed with the ability to be extremely calm under vast amounts of pressure. And, I've done this enough to where I know what to expect tomorrow night. I know my abilities. I know how tough I am. I know how good I am. And I know I'm going to win tomorrow. I'm just excited to show everybody my skills and how much better I've gone.
How familiar were you with Ron going into this fight? I know he's coming in off a bit of a layoff. Did you know much about him before taking him on, or was he one of those guys that you had to kind of look up?
Not really. I didn't really know that much about him. I got him offered, obviously, as soon as I get a name, I look into him. I looked into him. I saw that he's fought in heavier weight classes, and he's very experienced. He's fought a lot of good guys, and it seems like a fantastic fight for me for my pro debut. He's got a lot of experience, and he is a threat, and he's got a lot of experience, more experience than me. I'm 22 years old, so he's been doing this for a long time. When he had his first fight, I was probably in school somewhere, just like having lunch, just being a kid. So it feels good to take on a grown man in my professional debut and to show everybody, once again, what I'm about.
Yeah, and a fun matchup for the fans, the veteran against the prospect. Take me through camp a bit. Who did you get a chance to work with this time around, and who helped you get ready for this fight?
So Nosos MMA all the way, and Devin Powell, my head coach, all my training partners, Kyle Ho, Brody McDougal, David Burke, Kyle Pafal, Jared St. Jean, Avery Poole, Nate Grimmer. I could go on, the list goes on. I got a whole team supporting me. And I see Andrew Mack said something about 65 other people at Nostos, a huge team behind me. And, that's who I represent when I go in there. In fighting, everybody thinks it's just you when you step in there. But I represent so many people, not just myself. I got to win. I got to win. And not just for me, but for my family and for my team, It's honor, man. I got to bring them honor.
You mentioned, working with Devin Powell, a veteran of the sport to say the least. He's fought in like every major promotion. Just how much of an asset is that as someone who's been at the highest level, fought the who's who? I mean, just a wealth of knowledge, I imagine, in the gym.
Oh my God, yeah, it's insane, honestly. Like, it's crazy to have somebody like that in my corner, and he's just. I remember when I first trained with him. I went to Gnosis when I trained with him. He's just so smart, and he knows the game inside out, and he's just really taught me how to use all my weapons. Not just be a pure striker, using my clinch, using my wrestling, using my grappling. And, it's crazy because people haven't really seen my offensive grappling, my takedowns, my wrestling, because I choose not to use it in fights because I feel like I do have a bit of a striking advantage against most opponents. So I feel comfortable when I'm striking too. Maybe I'll take Ron down tomorrow. Maybe I'll just try and give him some business on the feet. You never know, but I do have the ability to take the fight everywhere, and I'm just as confident in my ground game as I am in my striking. I just haven't shown it yet, so I got to keep it locked away until I really, really need to use it.
We've got a bit of a controversial question here. I hope you can answer it. It's from your brother, Diego. He says, I heard Oz only wears sleeveless shirts because his arms are too big, almost as big as his brothers, I've heard. Is this true?
That's very true, yeah. That's very true. Almost as big, not quite as big.
There we go. I'm glad you handled that like a pro. How's the fight playing out? How do you see it going down? Obviously, you're a guy who likes to go out there and not go to the judges' scorecard. So how do you see this one unfolding?
I feel like my opponent's only path to victory is by decision. I think that sorry, I read a funny comment too.
No, I saw that too. Yeah, feel free to answer whenever you want. You don't have to answer these.
You're good. I feel like his only way to winning in his mind is a decision because I know he can't knock me out. I know he can't submit me. I know I'm too good. My striking awareness, obviously my chin. I'm tough. I'm very, very tough. And everyone likes to say how tough he is, but I'm tougher, and I know that. I think I'm going to knock him out. In fact, as a matter of fact, I know I'm going to knock him out. I don't think about it. I know it. I've seen these sequences in my head. I've got about 16 sequences that play on my head on repeat every single day. When I'm driving an hour from the gym back to my house, all I think about is how to finish my opponent. And, I just see it going my way. And I don't see it any other way. All respect to my opponent. He's going to come out there and he's going to try and finish me. I know that. But that's what excites me. Everything is so simple in life. Like, I go day by day doing just the same things. This is all the same, But when I get in that cage, I feel free. I feel I can express myself. I feel alive when I'm in there. And the feeling I get, not from just fighting, but from winning, is a feeling that it's just, it's the best drug in the world, that feeling, man. Just that feeling, scratching that itch. Getting in there and scrapping is just scratching the itch I got. And just, I can't wait.
You don't want to miss this one. Ozzy Martin, Ron Marshall, tomorrow night, Cage Titans. We're looking forward to it. Ozzy, thanks for making some time here, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you very much for the questions, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. There you go. Ozzy Martin, one of the, like I said, the fighters to watch. Going to be making his pro debut against Ron Marshall. Some great questions in the chat. Thank you, chat. You guys are absolutely killing it today. Making my job a lot easier. Getting some great questions for this card. Again, Cage Titan 69. If you can't make it in person, go check it out on spectationsports.com. Your home for regional MMA and beyond. Lots of good stuff over there. Again, my name is James Lynch. You see the handle there, Lynch on Sports. You can follow me on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram. I still call it Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. It sounds better than X. X sounds odd, but we'll say Twitter. And then my YouTube channel and everything else. I'm interviewing everyone. That's basically my bread and butter. And going to be doing another interview here quickly with Jack Condon. Going to be joining us here. Of course, we already talked to his opponent Ali. Big fight in the welterweight division tomorrow night. Jack is 5-1 and looking to make that 6-1. Big opportunity here on this stacked event, Cage Titans 69. He's getting the headphones on now. We're going to see what he has to say. Jack, how are you, man? Thanks for making some time here.
What's up, man? Feeling good, getting rehydrated, refueled, getting back to life.
That's good. That's good. Well, the hard part's over, right? The weight cut. How did everything go this time around leading into your fight tomorrow night?
Good. It went smooth. Did a couple of things differently that made it a little bit better than the last time or two. So last couple of pounds are always tough. Never a fun process, but we got it done. And getting back up and back onto the real weight.
Okay, well, there we go. And you're sounding great, looking great. So I would tend to believe that. You're not fooling me or anything. So that's good. What did you do differently this weight cut? You kind of said there you changed a few things.
I tried water loading. I never did that before, and it made the process easier. I felt a lot better throughout the span of the week. Playing with some temperature stuff in the hot bath, temperature versus time spent in the bath. Played with that a little bit and worked out a little bit better for me.
You're fighting Ali, like I mentioned. He's coming in off a bit of a layoff here, but how familiar were you with him, before taking this fight?
Yeah, I'd seen him at Cage Titans before. He's fought a bunch of good guys around here. So I'd seen his name come up. I'd seen his name in the rankings above me. So, while he wasn't somebody that I thought I necessarily would fight because he's done most of his work at 55, he was sort of on my radar in the back of my mind.
How much momentum do you have going into this fight? That last fight, quick first round submission win. Just how much are you riding high off that? I know it was back in September, but you got to be feeling good after that performance.
Yeah, for sure. That was a big one in terms of, I really needed to bounce back after taking my first loss to my career. Did that in emphatic fashion against a guy that fought on the Contender and in the PFL. So that was definitely a big one in terms of the confidence. And I've just been, staying on the grind, living the lifestyle, doing all the things I need to do. I'm not riding on that win necessarily. I'm always looking forward, looking to move on to the next one and just continue to get better. So I've just stayed on the path, and I'm going to keep that momentum going.
I can tell, man, all business. I like it. Let's talk about Ali. Obviously, a lot of experience. How do you feel like stylistically you match up against him here?
I'm very confident. I think I've got a lot of advantages. I'm a lot bigger. I think I'm more technical on the feet and on the ground, and I'm confident I'm going to be able to control the fight wherever it goes and find the finish wherever it presents itself, whether it be on the feet or on the ground.
And in terms of preparation for the fight, who helped you get ready for this one as far as bodies in the gym? Who were some of your training partners?
So Miguel Sevesinzer is a main training partner and myself. Been working with Connor Holt a lot. All the guys over at Lowe's on MMA, Wakeful MMA, Dan Savory, BJJ, BTT Taunton a little bit as well, and KO Gym as always. So, I got a huge team behind me. And everybody in those gyms that's been getting me better, much appreciated.
How is it going to so many different gyms? Like, obviously, you're at the end of the day, it's an individual sport. You got to do what's best for you. So you're kind of getting the best of everything. But how is it balancing that with, going to different gyms and the scheduling and all that? Is it fairly manageable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate that since about April, I've been doing this full time. So I've been coaching and training full time. So I have the ability to do it. And I'm lucky too in that everything's like a half-hour drive away. I can go and get the best jiu-jitsu in the area, the best striking in the area, the best MMA work in the area, and all that combines into making the product that I am now.
Who's going to be in the cage with you tomorrow night as far as your corner?
Sensei John Mirando from Lakeville MMA, Mike Avila, KO Gym, and Joe Rose.
Awesome. And how's this one playing out tomorrow night? How do you see it going down?
I'll find the finish within 2.
Okay. Didn't even hesitate. So I know you're serious about it because you just immediately, it's like, you answered it the way you needed to. Obviously, your record's great and, you go out there and get another big win. What are the implications of a victory for you here? Not looking past tomorrow night, but I'm sure you're thinking about a big year you have ahead here in your career.
Absolutely. He's a tough guy, so I can't look past him by any means. But it would be huge for me to be 6-1 now. I fight once, maybe twice more here in the springtime, and then I'm in prime position to get on the Contender Series in the fall. So that's my aim, get to 6-7-1, and then get my shot at the UFC.
There you go. Got it all mapped out. And a good interview too, Jack. Thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to tomorrow night. Appreciate you making some time.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Let's do it.
There you go. Jack Condon tomorrow night going to be fighting Ali Zebian. We're looking forward to that one. Really, really good fight in the welterweight division. And again, if you can't watch that one in person, go check it out on spectationsports.com. We're just waiting for our next guest here. My name is James Lynch. Hope you guys are having a great time, all 130 of you. We appreciate you joining here on this Friday. Again, Cage Titan 69 going down tomorrow night. Usual spot, Plymouth Memorial Hall in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So going to be a good event. Really looking forward to this one. And I mean, every event, they're pulling out all the stops. Like, last event, Cage Titan 68, fantastic event. And we got Natalie joining us here. Just going to get her all set up. We already talked to her opponent, Hillary Rose. I want to keep an eye on this one in the atomweight division. Don't see a lot of atomweight fights on the regional scene too often, but we're happy to welcome her here, Natalie Slesinger. Natalie, how you doing? Thanks for making some time.
What's up? I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad to be here too. So I appreciate you making time. Just tell me how this fight all came together. Obviously, an atomweight fight. We don't see a ton of those these days. But tell me how this fight came to fruition.
Well, I'm an atomweight fighter, so I gotta fight atomweight, But hey, they just asked me about it, and I said, yeah. I moved out to California recently for my training, so I've been leveling up out there, and I was looking for a fight on the West Coast, but I love the East Coast to come back here. So I'm from New Jersey originally, so I'm happy to be over on the East, back in the cold again,
Okay, that's awesome. Where are you training in California for people who might be wondering?
Oh, I'm training at Classic Fight Team, and then I also sometimes go down to San Diego, and I train at Alliance down there and Azteca Boxing Gym.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of good opportunities out there to level up. We'll talk about camp in a sec, but first, as far as Hillary goes, she's been a veteran of the game. Were you pretty familiar with her before taking this fight, or did you have to kind of look her up after the fact?
No, I knew who she was. I mean, we've met before. I fought, I think her teammate or her friend, she cornered against me last time I fought for Cage Titans. So fun fact about that one. I fought for Cage Titans about 5 years ago for the first time, and she was in the corner against me. So we met after the fight, and she's a nice girl. I have respect for her. I've seen her game. I know her game, and I'm going to do well tomorrow.
So you mentioned all the different training out in California. Who did you get to work with out there as far as training partners?
Oh man, all right, I have a lot of people to shout out. But
okay.
So at Classic Fight Team, I worked with Tyler Wambles as our head coach, and then Nat and Kay and David and Elisa and Ben as the coach. And then I go down to San Diego and I work with Angela, I work with Ashley, I work with Jenna Bishop from Alliance, and I work with Adam is Angela's husband. He's helped me out a lot. Coach Adrian at boxing at Azteca Boxing helps me a lot. Ty Shea is awesome. She's hooked me up a lot since I've been out there. So I really got super lucky meeting super awesome people who helped me so much out there, and I'm so grateful for it because man, I'm just an animal. I love to work hard, so anywhere I could get hard work, I really appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know if I can curse on this.
No, swear away. This isn't CNN, dude. Say whatever you got to say. I'm cool with it. So.
All right.
Yeah. So you had some good training out there.
Yeah.
There we go. So did you move down there, or you just do your camps there?
Yeah, I totally moved out there about
nice.
4 months ago. Yeah, so I'm out there permanently now. I love the training in New Jersey too. I do miss it a lot. So I'm gonna plan on maybe bouncing back and forth from time to time because I did have really great training out in Jersey too. Sean Santella is my head coach. He's gonna be in my corner tomorrow
Shorty Rock,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, Shorty Rock. So yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. So he'll be in my corner tomorrow night. James Meals from New Jersey. I really appreciated all the help out there, and he's still one of my favorite coaches for sure. And then Jamie Driver is going to be in my corner tomorrow night, as well as my girlfriend, Reagan Aaliyah, who made my walkout song. So when you hear my walkout song, vibe to it. She wrote it.
Oh, cool. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting little tidbit for tomorrow night. And I imagine you only go back to New Jersey in the summer because then you get good weather all year, right? Because that's probably another bonus of being out in California. It's not as cold this time of year.
I know, but I love the snow. Like, I'm a snowboarder. I love the snow. So being out here, like, it's a little taste of the snow while I'm out here. So it's cool. But yeah, to go back, it's going to be nice to go back to nice weather, you know?
We got a bit of a controversial question here, but I think it's totally fair. You're wearing a New York Yankees hat in New England. Did you had any people come after you, or how are things going with that?
Oh yeah. I've had a couple of people come out to me. I rep Yankees, but I don't really watch baseball. But I'm just repping. I'm from New York. Like my family's from New York. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm repping from where I'm from, and I wear this hat for the vibes. And then when I wear it, I win. So it's on, baby.
Yeah, and shout out to our guy Zach. 4 ounces of freedom here. I'm trying to bring up the question. It's not working. Where are we here? One sec. He says, Natty Ice, support any fighter that trains with Shorty and started in the Philly scene. Zach, a big Philly guy. So shout out to that as well. Again, keep your questions coming here in the chat. How's the fight going to go tomorrow night? Obviously, Hillary, a veteran. It's going to be a really exciting fight. Again, you guys are kind of getting the showcase here with being one of the high-level fights on here. How do you see the fight playing out?
I see it going my way. I'm an animal. I will do anything it takes to win tomorrow night, and you'll see that on the tape. If it's not an easy road to the finish and to the win, if it's a hard road, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna win.
And what about after this? What are some of the, what are some of your goals for the rest of the year? Is it just keeping active, taking the right opportunities? Again, leveling up in California, I'm sure you're going to be even more eager to get fights anywhere in the U.S., right? Because you'll be able to go anywhere.
Yeah. I would love to fight on the West Coast, but I'd also love to fight anywhere on the East Coast. I love being out here. My goal is always to level up. It's always to train with the best girls or guys and really just get myself better and work my ass off. I love working hard. That's my thing. So no talent here, just all hard fucking work. And that's what I plan on doing till I die.
And good at interviews too. Before I go, one question. I'm sure you've been asked this before. Any relation to Eliza Schlesinger, comedian? Because she's you guys have the same last name.
No, I don't have a relation to her, but like I've DM'd her a couple times, like, hey girl, can I come to your show? We got the same last name. But she's answered me a couple times, but no, we're not related at all. But shout out to my girl Amanda in the chat. Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Natalie, thanks for doing this. Appreciate you making some time, and we'll be watching tomorrow night.
Cool. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Take care. See you later. So there you go. Natalie Slesinger, no relation to Eliza Schlesinger. Anyone get that reference? Comedian Eliza Schlesinger, really, really good comedian. So again, we've talked to so many fighters on this card. We'll see who else we're going to be getting here, as I think we're going to be winding things down in a little bit. But again, this a stacked event here, Cage Titan 69, going to be live on Spectation Sports. If you're going in person, one of the best venues in the business, Plymouth Memorial Hall, doesn't get much better than that. And again, the crowd's going to be out. We got so many good fights in this card. We got the OG title fight. We got so much going on for this event. So really, really stacked. And looks like the boss man, I think, wants to hop on here. Michael Polvier. Mike, what's up, man? We got through some technical difficulties, but the fighters delivered as always. Some really good stuff. How are you, sir?
Man, doing all right. Yeah, sorry about that. So there's actually a police graduation event that got moved to Memorial Hall this morning. So we actually had to do a little bit of reconfiguring, and we were running off a hotspot. Somebody actually called me in the middle saying they were running late for weigh-ins, which kicked you guys off the hotspot, which was...
okay, so you were on a hotspot, because I was going to say the Wi-Fi for a hotspot, pretty solid, man. I wouldn't have known the difference, so...
Yeah, I got to pay that big bucks for the good hotspot on my...
There you go, yeah, for sure. And people don't know, I live in Vancouver, Canada, so the fact we're even able to do this is pretty amazing. So, again, shout out to whatever service provider you're with that's giving you the good hotspot, so...
Nice, man. I love it. And honestly, this has been such a great thing since we started doing it a few events ago. A lot of the people really look forward to it. And the fighters obviously, are a little drained, but they're always a little bit of talkative for you, which I appreciate. And the fans love being able to kind of follow along. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to do this for the guys.
I love doing this, man. You saw how excited I was when I got to do the first one. I mean, I love doing this on the fly stuff, and I love me some regional MMA. For people who don't know, Mike and I have known each other for a long time, dating back to when I used to do the prospect rankings back in the day for another company, which I will not name. But you and I, and then we met in Boston for the Boston card. You remember this a couple years ago? The Chris Weidman and Dominic Reyes card for the UFC.
I do remember. I think I was.
You were with Mike Hack.
Yeah. So Mike Hack, and then I think I was cornering a guy that fight card.
Okay.
One of our Cage Titans guys graduated to the UFC, and he asked me, a lot of these guys start fighting for Cage Titans when they're 18 years old. So some of these people that have graduated on, they're like, Mike, you're the only real adult I know. Can you help me out do the paperwork for the UFC? And so I've had the pleasure of joining a few fighters and helping me corner the UFC, and that was where we met. So yeah.
Yeah, that was great. We got to talk a little bit about this card. Obviously, we talked to most of the fighters here. Just from a promotional perspective, did everything kind of line up how you wanted? Because we know how things can change very quickly in this business. Are you very happy? I'm sure you're very thrilled with how the card is sort of, going to be set for tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, it's an incredible card. For us, it's a great way to start off 2025. Oddly enough, we spoke last year about the Barrett versus Giannetti fight, which was one of our biggest gates. This show actually sold out quicker than Barrett Giannetti.
Really? Okay.
Insane to me. People are really interested. We're starting 2025 off with a bang. Shayna's first Pags. We announced that last event in November, and the people are really clamoring, which they're both high-level guys. They both, obviously Shayna was in the UFC trying to get back, and Pags, part of the New England Cartel, trying to get there. So there's so much implications in this fight. I'm stoked for it. And the fans in New England, usually in the past, guys would stay away if they fought together. They fought in the same region. They're like, oh, well, we might cross train, or I've seen them at a gym once, and they don't want to fight each other. This is so much different. Shayna has trained with the New England Cartel before. New England Cartel has trained with his training partners, but they're like, listen, we both have the same goals, same dreams. That whole mindset of let's not crush each other's dream is, hey, listen, you're the best besides me in this area. I got to prove that I am the best and I belong back in the UFC or in the UFC. So that's what we have here.
I wanted to quickly talk about the OG title fight. I love this, by the way. I think it's so cool how you're taking two older fighters who just want to, scrap and duke it out, and then obviously a lot of history there too. Just tell me a bit about how that got picked together. I know from Greg's end, it was just about finding the opponent and the right situation, but tell me about that fight a bit.
Yeah, man, it's just something fun. We pride ourselves on being a place for everybody. A lot of promotions, whether you're the next UFC guy, they have you slated for that, you get preferential treatment. I say it all the time, whether you're an 0-0 amateur fighting on our card all the way up to a guy who might be in the UFC or has been in the UFC, you're all important to us. So when Greg came a few years ago, he made his debut at 48, 49 years old. And we had 59-year-old John Payne, a retired firefighter, fight for us before. So there was another guy competing at the time, 46 years old. So it just kind of was something fun that fell in our laps. And, I think they're motivation for people. And that was really what it started from, is being in the cage and being like, there's somebody out there that thinks they're too old to do something. That's bogus. Get out there and do it. And Greg Jones and some of these guys are a testament to it. Kind of the segue into this fight, OG, what does it stand for? I say this all the time. Is it old guy? Is it original gangster, like a guy who's been around forever? And it's, Greg got into the sport competing as an old guy. He hates when I say that, but it's just the truth. Kenny Champion, on the other hand, he is 45, 46 years old, so he's an old guy, but he's an OG because he's been fighting for us for over 10 years. Was an amateur title fighter holder for us. So he's old and he's an OG who's been fighting forever. So this is a great fight between the two of them.
Quickly on the women's fight, I just talked to Natalie. We talked to Hillary Rose earlier as well. I know Hillary feels like if she gets a win here, maybe a title could be on the line after this. Is there any plans for a women's title fight later this year at any point?
Listen, I say this tongue-in-cheek and kind of like half smirking. If I never had to match a women's fight or a heavyweight fight again in my life, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
There's just the pool is so shallow with the amount of people that compete. And then Hillary goes out and fights at 105 to make my job even harder. But either way, hey, listen, let's see. I mean, if there's enough competitors out there, I'm more than happy to put a belt around some lady's waist and recognize them. I think GFL just recognized at 105. They have their big draft tonight. So, hey, let's see what happens.
What about beyond from Cage Titan 69? Anything you can share with us for Cage Titan 70 and beyond? I know you're always planning ahead, and we're kicking things off in a big way here tomorrow night.
March 22nd is the next one. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to Spectation Sports to see what we have in store for you.
Teaser. I love it. And good plug for the website, Michael. You're a veteran here.
Yeah, we might have a couple things up my sleeve. So tune in tomorrow. Yeah, you've heard us announce last show, Shayna and Pagliarulo. We might have some familiar faces coming back for March 22nd. So we'll see.
Love hearing that. Mike, anything else you want to say? And we'll let you go here. Again, I got to thank you, man. Again, I love doing this. Spectation's happy. Everyone's happy. So, and I know the fans are happy. We've been getting some great questions. And shout out to Andrew Mack, by the way. Every one of these, he's here and contributing. So I want to give him a shout out. And he does some great interviews as well with some regional fighters too. So shout out to him.
shout out to Trial by Combat. That's his new company, social media company for MMA coverage. He does an amazing job. He actually runs our back interview room. We do all the post-fight interviews with all the winners backstage, and he runs that for us. But I got nothing for you. We're about to break stream. We're going to do the ceremonial weigh-ins in a few minutes. Tickets are sold out, so if you don't have a ticket, I don't know what you've been waiting for. But don't worry, Spectation Sports got you covered. Don't fall for any scam links. Don't click any links in the comments. SpectationSports.com is the only place to watch Cage Titans 69. Make sure you use your favorite fighter's last name as a promo code when you do checkout, because it's a great opportunity for us to give back to the fighters. They receive a percentage back of all the sales used with their promo code. And I really appreciate that Spectation does that. So make sure you do that. Besides that, I have nothing. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you in March. And before that, I'm sure, too, we'll be doing some interviews. So always good, Mike. Thanks again for this. And thank everyone for tuning in here. I think we're going to do an outro video, if I'm not mistaken. Or how are we? I guess I'll let you lead the charge here, sir. You're the Tony Soprano of this operation.
My man, playing the outro. Later, guys. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Shameless Don Shadis.
It's Tom Pagliarulo, who will be looking to claim the Cage Titans featherweight strap.
Do know me, know I'm like a fan favorite just because I'm never in a boring fight, man. I'm not gonna just like fight to win. Like I'm always actually gonna bring it. So they're in for a treat.
In there isn't to just fucking get in. I want to make someone quit. I want someone to scream uncle. I want someone to fucking say stop.
I think on the regional scene, I've slowly progressed in the level of fights I'm taking. I've been in wars. I think I'm ready for it.